Red Zone Sports Ante. Wham, bam, thank you, Uncle Sam.
Well, hello there and welcome along to Upping The Ante in association with RedZone.bet with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch. Imagine we're on to week 13, Gavin. And week 13, they say, is unlucky for some and it's very unlucky for Lauriersburg followers.
And it'll be unlucky for the bookies, hopefully, too. Yeah, Lauriersburg out and also Celia's Emery out there last Wednesday, so...
Now, the Racing Post sponsor the Arkle, so we should be bigging it up. Best race of the festival. It's a bloody disaster, Gavin.
It's not ideal, is it? And tell me, do you think Deputy Desai might switch or not?
No, I don't. Now, I'll tell you why I don't think Deputy Desai will switch. Because JP McManus, one of the biggest owners, Gigginsound, JP McManus, two of the biggest owners. JP, since 2000, so since the turn of the century, how many runners has JP McManus had in the Racing Post Arkle?
612.
Six. In 18 years, JP McManus has had 6 runners in the Racing Post Arkle, and he hasn't had a runner in the race since 2013. Tap Knight ran for him. Hasn't had a runner in the last 5 years. I don't think he likes the race.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Deputy Desai will stay in the JLT, and we're hoping he will, Gavin.
I hope he stays in the JLT because he's beaten Lost in Translation. I think it's harder for him to win the Arkle than the JLT, so hopefully he stays, yeah.
And another bitter blow with Celia's Emery. Willie Mullins revealed at his press open day last week that Celia's Emery was out. A classy hurdler, would have had a big chance.
Yeah, it was the highest rated hurdler in the race, so it's a pity, yeah.
Yeah, so it's now wide open. At the moment, if you were to have a bet, who would you back?
Oh, there's only one horse, Lawler.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take you on with Glenn Forza. We've seen plenty of clues in the last 7 days. Maybe not as much as previous weeks, given that we're getting so close to the Cheltenham Festival. But Angel's Breath, Gavin, the bubble was burst.
The bubble was burst, yeah. Southfield Stone. Now, Angel's Breath was given at £5, and afterwards, Nicky wasn't that disheartened. Nicky's one of life's optimists, I think, but he said that he would improve an awful lot because of the vaccinations and snow and everything, that he'd missed a bit of work, so he wasn't fully fit. I see even today he's back into 8-1 again for the Supreme. Even on the exchanges, they're back in about 8-1. One thing about that race is that at the time, I heard them saying on TV that they broke the track record, which was interesting. And also, you'd have to say the Southfield Stone certainly did the Tolworth no harm for Elixir de Nuts and Grand Sancy. So
it's interesting. I spoke to Jamie Codd at Naas after racing yesterday. He did the Monday Jury in the Racing Post, and I asked him about Angel's Breath. Was one of the questions. He says, "Do not give up on Angel's Breath. Softer ground, stiff uphill finish. You will see a different horse." I think the point experts think a lot of Angel's Breath.
Yeah, it's hard to see him win a Supreme, but I'll tell you, if you finish in the first 3, Southfield's Stone will go off short and save the county.
And Gavin, we've got 5 in the betting here. Where's the winner of the race? Where's Mr. Fisher?
No, he's not there, no.
No?
He's down in the bar country. He's down in the bar. Fakadu Duri for me.
Yeah, Mr. Fisher for me in the 11-1 bar. We've seen Dickie Diver at Chepstow.
Yeah, won very well. I think it was around 3s on there in Chepstow.
Your kind of price?
Back it each way. So he's going for the Bartlett. I just don't think he'll stay 3 miles. He's had 2 runs over 2.5.
He's keen, isn't he?
He's very, very keen. He's crazy keen. Now, I know he won a point-to-point very easy and heavy, but there's a big difference. So I just doubt he'll stay 3 miles. Okay,
now in the last 7 days, Gavin, what have you spotted?
We started Wednesday in Punchestown. We started with Lorena. So she beat Mares again. She was 0 from 2 in France. She's 6 from 6 since she joined Willie. She had her smallest margin of victory for Willie the other day, 6 lengths. You're going to hear a lot of bull in the next 2 weeks with preview nights saying that she can't win a champion hurdle. A lot of bull.
Yeah.
I'm not going to back her maybe, but who's to say that she isn't the next Annie Power, etc., do you know?
We were talking about this earlier. There's one part of my brain that's saying this is the best filly we've seen in donkey's years. She's going to be better than Annie Power. She's going to win by 10 lengths. And then there's another part of my brain that's telling me she'll jump the first hurdle pretty high, she'll be out of her comfort zone, and then she might plod on at the end into 5th or 6th. And I don't know which part of the brain to believe. Which should I believe?
I don't know. The other day, when the first circuit, the first 4 or 5 hurdles, she was okay. She gets a bit steep, and then later on, when they quickened up, she actually jumped very well. So.
She did, yeah. As you said, we just don't know.
I think it's going to be the best, I was saying to you earlier, the best champion hurdle and Gold Cup as a package, 2 together, we've seen in a long time.
And there's so many opinions, and valid opinions.
Yeah.
You can make case for 4 or 5, possibly 3 in the champion hurdle, 4 or 5 in the Gold Cup.
I think Esper Dallin won a big race in the champion hurdle as well as the 3 favourites.
Okay, there you go.
He's 8 from 9, so he's no back number.
Okay, moving on.
Cap York won the Pretemps qualifier on Wednesday. Chungea fell at the last, and a night catcher on third was It's All Guesswork.
Yes.
Doncaster on Wednesday, Wonderful Charm won Hunter's Chase. He might go to the Fox Hunters.
He was impressive now.
Yeah, so he's a decent horse.
Yeah, I think he has a chance, yeah.
Clondalk Castle on Thursday won at Huntingdon and is now 8-1 favourite for the Close Brothers. Also on Thursday in Thurles Real Steel, his jumping's a bit in and out and a bit sketchy. He's a bit right, he's a bit left, he's a bit short, he's a bit long, but he's only 10-1 for the JLT. That'll show you.
Bit of a lot of things there.
Yeah. So the JLT is certainly winnable if he's 10-1. Go another one, won the Michael Purcell Novice Hurdle. He may or may not go to Cheltenham.
Doesn't matter.
Friday in Exeter, Epatante won. It was a poor mare's novice hurdle.
Slowly but surely falling in love with Epatante.
Yeah, so she's roughly joint favourite Honeysuckle now for the mare's novice hurdle. But
Boy, can she jump.
She can, and she was wicked impressive, but
yeah.
It wasn't the best race. Flemcara won a per temps qualifier in the same day.
Too slow, yeah.
On to Saturday, Foozle Raffles, which we just heard is unlikely.
Unfortunately out of the Triumph, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pity.
Was impressive.
Yeah, no, it was very, very
good. News for you and your Sir Eric coupon.
Yeah. Walt won the handicap chase from double shuffle. He might go to the Ultima. And then Saturday, we mentioned Dickie Diver and Chepstow. Sambura Shuja won a per temps qualifier.
Good, Gavin.
Yeah.
You were practicing that one.
I was. Rathfinden won the Bobby Joe and Fairyhouse.
Wins the Grand National.
Yeah, he's 11-year-old. He gets £5 from Tiger Roll, so he might finish second to Tiger Roll.
Yeah, no, he'll beat him. Go on. I think he will, yeah. I think he's tailor-made for Grand National. I must say at this juncture, I've never backed a winner of Grand National.
Really?
No, never.
Rathfinden and Tiger Roll have both won the 4-milers. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I have an interesting stat with Tiger Roll later on.
Okay, keep it. We'll have to stay tuned.
Sunday then, on to yesterday, Fontwell. This one's for you. What's wrong with you? Trained by Nicky. He's going to send it to the race named after his dad, the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual. He's 10-1 favourite. He looked a very tricky customer. Wears a hood, and again, he's a bit left and right and all over the shop. Vision Day Flow and Shantou Flyer both won as well. And yesterday, the only one to mention really for Cheltenham was Cadmium. He won the Grade 3 and he's 14-1 for the Grand Annual. There you go.
Yeah, I couldn't have him for the Grand Annual. Okay, so there is your review of the last week. That was the week that was. Time now, Gavin, for your last segment on handicaps. You've got your top 5 stats.
Yes.
From handicap chase at the Cheltenham Festival in the last 6 years.
Yep.
Numero.
So we're going to start with
Sank. Is that 5? Number 5?
I did pass French.
Cat Sank,
right,
yeah. I actually have a good joke, but I'm not going to tell you about that.
Grand.
Number 5.
In the Ultima, the last 12 winners were all trained in the UK, so just stay away from the Irish horses in the Ultima. Next one we're on to is the Brown Advisory. 9 of the last 10 winners carried 10 stone 13 or less. Now, of course, last year you get the Flying Diamond with the Storyteller carrying 11-4, but before the Storyteller there was 9 in a row carrying 10, 13 or less.
Okay.
Now, the Storyteller is quite a decent animal, so...
Yeah, Ryanair bound, yeah.
The next one in the Kim Muir, the last 9 winners have carried 11 stone 4 or more, right? You're still thinking of that joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether to tell it or not.
So, for example, last year, right, 12 horses out of the 20 carried 11-3 or less, so based on that you could have knocked those 12 out. Jamie Codd has won it 4 times, but go for a top weight, go for a good horse with a good jockey. The Close Brothers, in the last 14 runnings, which there's only been, 12 were trained in the UK, so again, stay away from Irish horses in the Close Brothers. And lastly, in the Grand Annual, in the last 5 years, they carry 11 stone or more, but to counteract that, the previous 14 were all under 11 stones, so that's probably irrelevant. 5 of the last 6 winners have been novices or second season novices. And I had a very good stat for you, but it's not going to count this year really, is that 3
Doesn't matter, Gavin.
3
we have viewers that are thinking about the 2020 Cheltenham Festival already.
3 of the last 4 winners, they ran in the Grand Annual as a novice, got beat, and came out the next year and won. And it would have been 4 out of 4, only Solar Impulse was withdrawn at the start, so previous experience in the race is a help.
Okay, can I tell my joke? Really quickly, okay?
Go.
There was an Irish family and there was a French family living next door to one another, and they were really competitive. Irish family had a dog called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. French family had a dog called On Do Trois Quatre Cinq. Okay, so they were trying to decide who's the better dog, and they did all these races and stuff. They decided to have this swim.
Okay.
So they brought them out to the beach. We're going to have a swim to decide this once and for all. So 1, 2, 3, 4 swam against On Do Trois Quatre Cinq. Who won?
The Irish one, because the other one, the cat sank. No.
Yeah. You ruined it.
Sorry. It was fairly obvious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 won it because On Do Trois Quatre Cinq. Yeah, there we go. I probably should have left that one out.
You should have.
Anyway, moving on to our questions from the crowd. Glenn Evans on YouTube says, "Keep it going, lads. The show is my highlight of the week." Okay. God, he must have a pretty sad existence.
He lives on his own in a one-bed apartment.
Yeah, bachelor anyway. What do you think about my €2 each way Lucky 31 and €8 roll-up, Gardens of Babylon, Classical Dream, Top of the Game, and Kemboy. Okay, so we'll deal with them individually. Gardens of Babylon.
Might be placed. Won't beat Sir Eric.
Okay, Classical Dream.
We'll chat about him maybe in a while. Yeah, if he goes for the Ballymore, I'd like him, yeah.
Okay. Top of the Game.
Again, got a great chance. Is he going to beat Del to work? He'll certainly
I'm
come there
starting to fancy him, Gavin.
Are you?
I'm starting to fancy him, yeah.
He's a good horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Kemboy is an each way chance, I suppose.
And Kemboy, yeah, each way chance. So do you think he might collect on a couple of these each ways, yeah?
Maybe Top of the Game in Classical Dream.
Now, question number 2 from the crowd is a great one. This is a great one. I hope you gave it some thought, Gavin. It's from Aidan Boyle, at Boyle_Aidan on Twitter. He says, David, if you and Gavin Lynch were racehorses, which ones would you be and why?
We wouldn't be 2 milers anyway. We wouldn't be...
I have a good one for this. Have you picked the horse? I'll let you think and I'll give you mine, okay?
Wouldn't be built for speed.
Okay, I'd be Brain Power. And do you know why? Not only because I like Brain Power.
He's a bit mad.
No, because everybody hates him. Everybody absolutely hates Brain Power. And if you read through my Twitter, Gavin, I have a lot of there's a lot of hatred in there.
No, he's not.
And he's kind of one of them that can produce a good performance, like today. Today is going quite well, but then he can throw in an odd stinker, like. So I think Brain Power and me are pretty similar.
I'd be a Salsify or a Uccello Conti, I'd say.
Salsify?
Yeah.
Why?
Just slow.
Yeah, slow.
But stay going and do
I
the
think
best.
you're being hard on yourself.
No, I'm not.
I have you down as a
absolutely.
Lorena. Okay, number 3, from Green and Gold, at JP McManus News on Twitter. How many Green and Gold winners will there be? How many JP McManus winners, Gavin?
I just counted earlier. He's got 8 favourites roughly. Defi Desai, Bouverdare, OK Corral, Champ, Sire de Berlay, Epatante, Sir Eric, Stand Up and Fight. So I'm sure he'll have 4 or 5 anyway.
Yeah, of the best of them.
Sir Eric is easily the best of them. And after that, I suppose maybe I'd like to see Defi Desai win the JLT.
No, there's a few interesting ones in handicaps as well. No comment, perhaps, for the Kim Muir is one that I'm starting to like. Okay, so it's time to bring Kane Calvin from our sponsors, RedZone.bet, into the show. And Kane, our first question to you is, if RedZone could get any anti-post favourite beaten at the Cheltenham Festival, who would it be and why?
So at this stage, it'd have to be presenting Percy. There's been steady money on him throughout the season, and whilst that has dried up a bit recently on the back of no prep run, we really haven't led anything else in the race, so it's definitely a bad result for us.
Presenting Percy, Gavin, can he do it?
He can. I think just don't bother backing him at 11-4 with the books. He's 9-2 in the exchanges. He'll be 4 or 5-1 on the day, definitely. Okay,
and our second question for you, Kane, is what have been the top 3 most popular horses with RedZone in the last 7 days?
So we have seen plenty of bets on Benny Juju for the mares, and she's been included in a lot of multiples too. With Lorena looking more and more likely to run in the Champion Hurdle, the path seems clear for Benny. There was more money for Tiger after his victory at Navan last weekend, and he looks a banker now for the cross country. And lastly, after impressive performance at Sandown, Glenn Forster has been very popular for the Arkle, and with Lorishborg now being ruled out, he must have a massive chance.
You're right, Kane. Not only does Glenn Forster have a massive chance, Gavin, he's going to win the Arkle.
a lot of pace in the race, isn't there? Or Nua. You're abandoning Paloma Blue.
Look, if there was no fences, Paloma Blue would have a chance, but sure, he hates fences. He hates fences as much as I hate lettuce.
I think that I think that there's going to be a lot of pace in the race and it'll suit Lawler to come late.
Yeah, I think Glenn Forza. Do you know what he was rated when he won his novice handicap chase at the start of the season at Chepstow? 119.
My God.
Holy God. He is up to 152, I think, now. Yeah. Big progress from Glenn Forza. Okay, so it's almost time for the most important part of the show, our latest selections for the Cheltenham Festival. And just to give you a sneak peek, Gavin has got selections at 28-1 and 16-1. Gavin, what's going on here?
I should have lost the plot, Dave.
And I've got selections at 22-1 and 20-1. So stay tuned. If you want to make a cup of tea, just wait a few minutes because it's about to come, okay? So let's have a look through our selections. We've only got 2 weeks tomorrow to go to the Cheltenham Festival.
Yes.
And here are our list of selections. Unfortunately, you started off with a non-runner, Gavin, Malone Road.
Yeah.
Lawler, 7-1 when you tipped Lawler, is now 3-1.
Yeah, but
for
that's because he's still going. There's a few non-runners since.
That's all part of anti-post punting.
It is.
Larichburg, obviously, I'm sure Joseph O'Brien and Gordon Early are watching this, praying you won't tip any more of their horses because they just seem to be getting injured once you tip them.
Yeah, true.
Tiger Roll, 9-2. How was Tiger Roll ever 9-2 for the cross country?
That was back last July. I have an interesting stat for you.
Go for it.
Tiger Roll was born on the 14th of March 2010.
Stop.
Right? What date did he win his Triumph Hurdle on?
14th of March.
14th of March
2014.
What date did he win his 4-miler on?
The 14th of March 2017.
14th of March 2017. What date did he win the cross country last year?
Stop. 14th of March 2018.
Now,
it's not on the same
cross
day.
country. Well, I'm holding on to something. Is that the
it'll be called off because of frost and it'll be ran the next day.
It's been held on the 13th, but that means that somewhere in Australia it's on the 14th. That's good enough. So anyway, that's an interesting stat.
That just proves that you can make any
Yes.
stats work to fit your argument. Okay, we've got Penhill 8-1, now 11-2, even though we haven't seen Penhill.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah, Road to Respect 12-1. Gavin tipped it up at 18-1. This, now, to me, this was your best selection. Honeysuckle 14-1, now 9-4 redzone.bet. Now, that was Honeysuckle when we didn't know Honeysuckle, so
Yes.
kudos for that.
Epiton to be the dangerous scenario.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a good price, but Epiton to win that. Moving on to your next selection, which is Waiting Patiently.
Yeah, he won't.
8-1. It's 5-1, so you've got the value. OK Corral, same price, 3-1. Blue Sari, 12-1 now, 5-1. Fakir Didare, 9-2, same price now for the Supreme.
I tipped it up at 11-1.
Okay, that might be that might just be a misprint, Gavin. These things happen.
It's a misprint,
okay. Sir Eric, who's also spelled with an E instead of an I, 9-4 now, 11-10. Defi Desai 6-1 into 7-2. Benny's is due 2-1 into 6-4, and that 6-4 won't even last.
No.
Delta Work 4-1 into 7-2. Have we more? No, that's your list. So Gavin, do you know what I'm going to do?
Uccello Conti was the last one.
Yeah, Uccello Conti. Do you know what I'm going to do?
What's
I'm
that?
going to give you an 8 out of 10 for
8
that
out of
list.
10. That's
Okay,
better than it.
so moving on to my selections, and they are first assignment for the Pretemps final 12-1 now, tipped up at 25-1. Eurodel 20-1 for the Coral Cup now, 15-2. Now, Gavin, that's good work.
That's good work. Top
Yeah.
two, very good. Yeah.
Okay,
Great chances.
moving swiftly on, we'll forget about Dunvegan because he has as much chance as I have. Mr. Fisher for the Supreme. Now, this should be shorter than 11-1. No, Gavin, he's a proper horse.
Yeah, but he won't win.
Black Ops 16-1, tipped up at now 14-1 for the Stairs Hurdle. He'd probably be placed. Balco the Flow 14-1 for Ryanair, now 11-1. Delta Work 12-1 for the
Well done.
RSA, now 7-2, tipped up by Gavin Lynch at 4-1. Rhinestone 33-1 for the Ballymore, now 16-1. Obviously looks to have little chance in that. Paloma Blue by process of default.
It's half the price.
18-1 now 9-1. God, would anybody back Paloma Blue at 9-1?
No.
No. Envoy Allen 11-2, tipped up on last
He's
week's
good
show.
chance.
Okay, so now it's time for this week's selections, and everybody is watching, Gavin, to find
Yes.
out your selection. So we're going to keep them thinking. We're going to keep them watching. So we're going to go for my selections first, okay?
problem.
And the first of those comes in the Ultima. Now the weights are out this week, so it's obviously a little bit dodgy tipping a horse before the weights come out, but I think this is serious value. 22-1. Calypto. Calypto is my latest fancy for the Ultima handicap chase, and let me explain, okay? He won a listed handicap chase on a second try over 3 miles at Ascot. A proper race now, proper seasoned handicappers in that. He won that off a mark of 143. He's now rated 148. He's only gone up £5, which I thought was fairly lenient.
It was.
I thought the handicapper was in good form that day. Before that, on his first try, he was third at Doncaster on his first try over 3 miles. I thought that was a perfectly respectable run. He's ran 4 times at Cheltenham, okay? He finished 6th in the Grand Annual to Rock the World, only beaten 7 lengths. He was third to Garde La Victoire in a Grade 2 a couple of years ago. He's only half a length behind Fox Norton that day. He was second to Tiger Roll in an intermediate hurdle at the October meeting at Cheltenham a couple of years ago. And he actually was sent off favourite for the Triumph Hurdle in which Tiger Roll won. And he was so unlucky. It was the day Daryl Jacob, the stirrup leather broke. He was without his irons and he flew home. Finished a fast finishing 4th to Tiger Roll.
I remember that.
So he has good course form at Cheltenham. He likes the place. He's ran in a big handicap. He ran in the Grand Annual. I think he's been crying out for a step up to 3 miles. And I think come the day, 22-1 Calypto for the informed Venetia Williams stable will look huge. So 22-1 Calypto, my first fancy, and I'm going to stick with the handicaps and a race that I really, really like. I backed the winner of the Grand Annual for the last 2 years, courtesy of Rock the World and Le Parisienne, and I'm going to do it 3 years in a row because Le Parisienne is going to win the Grand Annual again. The boost for redzone.bet customers is 20-1 from 16-1 for La Parisienne for the Grand Annual. He won the race impressively by 4.5 lengths last year off a mark of 150. Unbelievably, he's only ran 3 times this season, twice over fences, and he's back down to a mark of 151, which I think is incredible. He was second to Silver Streak in the Welsh Champion Hurdle, giving him £12. Since then, he's finished 5th to Sco Royal in the slower chase at Cheltenham. Made a bad mistake at the second last. It was value for finishing a little bit closer. And he ran a shocker at Sandown last time on deep ground. But maybe he just needed throwing a shocker. Maybe he just did. You never know. Like the Grand Annual might have been in the back of their minds and...
He's a bit like Defi Desai. He has to come late, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, but the fact that he won the race last year, it's a
big
race for repeat performers,
It is,
as
yeah.
your stat
Yeah,
proved.
yeah.
So, Le Parisienne, 20-1 for the Grand Annual. I think that's a cracking price. But you don't care about my tips. All you want to know about is Gavin's tips.
know.
So, Gavin, you have 3 selections this week.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to kick off in the Albert Bartlett with
First one's
Allaho.
Allaho. Now, there's a big stat against him, first of all. Now, I've picked 2 for the Bartlett because it's a race that is...
It's a good start.
yeah.
I'm going to tip a horse, and this is why you won't win.
No, well, just to say that the stats have shown that if you want to win it, you have to have loads of runs over hurdles. So I'm just putting in a caveat about this fella
He does
first.
have one good stat in his favour, though.
He does. Trained by Willie Mullins has won all right.
And he's won over 3 miles.
He did. 6 out of the last 7 winners of the Bartlett have won over 3 miles. Previously, horses like Kilbrick and Storm, Penhill, etc., they've had 4 runs, 7 runs, 15 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs over hurdles. So he's only had 2. He ran an tie last year, and then he joined Willie. He didn't run so well in the bumper at Christmas. He was well fancied. He ran way too keen. He finished, I think, 4th. Now,
Bumper's working out spectacularly well.
Yeah, Sempo was 3rd and Fury Road was 5th, so it's worked out well, but that form wouldn't be good enough to win the Bartlett. So Willie, because I suppose he's having an in-and-out season, he threw him straight into the Grade 3 in Clonmel.
Yeah, do you know why that happened?
No.
I only found this out yesterday. I was on a preview night with David Casey. The only reason he ran in the Grade 2 was because he was balloted out of the maiden hurdle. He was only first. He was only first on the list, and they said, we need to get a run into him, so sure, we'll throw him into the Grade.
Oh my God. Well, I tell you what, he was very impressive.
He was very impressive.
He jumped quite well, 1 or 2 little mistakes. He travelled like the winner the whole way. He was trading in short the whole way around. And I was very impressed with him. Now, he'll have to be a superstar to win the Bartlett on his third hurdle run.
He could be, though.
But he could be a star. I think that the Bartlett being the Bartlett, there's no point picking favourites in it. You might as well get a bit of value for money.
And on that note, you have a second selection in the Albert Bartlett, and it's an even bigger price. Gavin Lynch, what has happened to you in the last week? 28-1. Your next selection is Dinons.
Yeah, Dinons, trained by Gordon Elliott, who obviously is one of the favourites in the race, and I'm sure they don't rate this lad as highly as the other one. But
Maybe
he's
they
had,
do.
yeah,
Maybe they do.
he's had 7 runs over hurdles, which is a positive. He fell first time in Belliostown when he was definitely going to win. Then he won 4 summer hurdles.
Roger Loughran used to ride him, didn't he?
He used to ride those colours. So he won 4 summer novice hurdles, etc., very, very easily. And then he reappeared in Cheltenham in a 3-mile novice hurdle. Now, it wasn't the best race in the world. The horse that was second was rated 125. He gave it £8. He won by 14 lengths, but he absolutely bolted up. He's won over the trip on the course, even though that was the old course. Since then, he ran in Navan. He was more or less brought down at the third last. He was joint favourite. He was travelling very, very well. I think the triple suit him. I think he's a huge price. I just think he's good value for money.
Do you know what, Gavin? I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you've made very, very good claims for Dinons. I like the fact that he's had so many runs. He ticks a lot of the stats boxes.
I think he will run there because Gordon doesn't waste entries. We haven't seen him since before Christmas, but I think he'll run here because the 3 mile definitely is his cup of tea.
28-1. That'll be a nice start to the Friday. Second race, isn't it, on Friday? Albert
race,
Bartlett. Is it
Third,
County Hurdle second,
Yeah,
Albert Bartlett
County
third,
second,
yeah. Will be a nice start. Sir Eric rolling into Dinons.
Yeah.
And Gavin, your next selection, well, it's Classical Dream, but it's not Classical Dream as we know him because it's not Classical Dream for the Supreme.
Yeah, and
It's
just
Classical
taking,
Dream for the Ballymore. What's going on here?
we took a bit of a chance a few weeks ago that Fakir Dudery might run the Supreme, and it's kind of looking that way. I'm just taking the chance again that Willie runs.
Are you guessing?
I'm guessing.
Have you inside info?
No, Ruby
Have
the
you,
other
Gavin?
day.
Come on now.
No,
Come on,
the other
Gavin.
day Ruby
He
said, I don't. On Racing TV, he gave his weekly column, and he said that he hopes Araman runs in the Supreme. He wants Classical Dream to run here and Allaho to run in the Bartlett because obviously he can only ride one of them.
And will Ruby
in
get
each
his
race.
way?
I
Think he might.
say he might. So he had 5 runs in France over hurdles. Previously, he'd won a maiden on the flat over 1 mile and 6, so I think he's a stayer. He finished 4th in a Grade 1 in France over 2-2 in soft ground. He was only beaten 4.5 lengths by Master Dino, so he had great form before he came to Willie.
Good horse, Master Dino, yep.
He won a very good maiden hurdle at Christmas. He beat Antukas, Dancing on My Own, and Vision d'Honneur. He travelled quite keen that day, but he stayed at it very, very well. And then in early February, he won the Grade 1. He beat Araman ahead. Araman came, travelled better, went past him, he battled back. I just think that if he runs in the Ballymore, I think he's going to go off 4 or 5-1. And he's got a great chance.
And you were telling me before the show, on the exchanges at the moment, he's a much shorter price for the Ballymore than he is for the Supreme.
Yeah, I think for the Supreme he's out to 27, 28. So I suppose people are guessing. And Willie won't make up his mind till the very last second. But
Are
I
you
think,
guessing?
of course, Battle Over Diane and Champ deserve to be favourites. But I think this guy has as good a chance as them.
Yeah, and if he does run here, Classical Dream, if you have Battle Over Diane, Grade 1 winner, Champ, Grade 1 winner, Classical Dream, Grade 1 winner, it's going to be the novice hurdle of the week, isn't it?
I'd say so, yeah. The Supreme is okay, but I think this would be a better race, yeah.
Okay, so Gavin's 3 selections again there. Allaho at 16 to 1 in the Albert Bartlett. Dinons at 28 to 1 in the Albert Bartlett. And Classical Dream at 11 to 1 to win the Ballymore. That price could plummet in the next couple of days if it starts to look likely that Classical Dream is going to run in the Ballymore. So that's it for this week's show, folks. Week 13. There's only 2 more Upping the Antes to go. Next week, Gavin, it's going to be getting close. We're going to be getting really excited next week.
We'll definitely pick a few of the handicaps next week.
Yeah, certainly. We're going to.
The weights are coming out during the week, so.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty to watch in next week's show. Gavin is going to find some more big price fancies. Hopefully, I'll find some too. Thanks for watching.
Red Zone Sports Ante. Wham, bam. Thank you, Uncle Sam.